Hello, beautiful soul friends. And today I want to have a discussion with you on the topic of how to find your reconnection. So sometimes we can feel like we get lost, or we feel like we can separate from ourselves somewhat, depending on the degree that is. That can be quite intense and strong. That could just be a little bit. But firstly, I want to share with you, you are always connected, obviously to the degree you feel it. So when you're feeling quite connected, you feel what you would call normal, you feel things are great, things are fine, and you feel connected. But because you're in it, you don't even question it. It's just a part of your life. But then when you start to notice that you're not feeling as great, you're not feeling as connected to people, to yourself, to your world out there, that's when you can feel that disparity. That's when you know, okay, I don't feel so connected anymore. But you're still connected to a degree. And it's important to know that, because your soul, your source, God, whatever you want to call it, is always there for you. And it is only us that moves away from us. But we can always come back. And that's where I want to take you into becoming aware. It's about how you feel. Everything on this life journey is how you feel. You have so many thoughts and feelings throughout the day. You don't have to monitor your thoughts so much. You just monitor how do I feel? How do I feel about my world? How do I feel about myself? How do I feel about people? It's about how you feel in any moment, because how you feel can change. You can be feeling sad, and that's just that state you're accessing. And then that can shift into feeling happy, another state you're accessing. So you actually have all these states available to you at any time. And it's just a mood change. It's just a state, just another word for it. Mood, attitude, state. They all mean the same thing. So when you just want to dial it back to what's important and bring it back to quite what's simple. It's about how you feel. So understand that if you're feeling a bit disconnected, could be good reason for that. Sometimes you need to experience that to know you want to feel more connected. Sometimes we might do that because we want to hide away, or we're moving away from something. But you are always connected, and connected more strongly to the degree you allow that by the way you feel. So the topic today is more about sharing how to reconnect, okay? Reconnecting with yourself. And you can see this as I'm just taking some time out as well. Sometimes you need to just take that time out and just observe and just be. And then it's like, it's like a little break or a little bit of a holiday. And then you might want to reconnect after that. And you get more clarity, actually, because you get the ideas. You get, I want to do this more, or I want to do that. So that starts to flow more when you take that break. So just recognize that things are temporary. Things are always temporary, no matter what's happening. It's just, if it seems to be solid and moving that way for a while, that's great, but it's just temporary, recreating itself. So this works really well. If something's not going well in your life, you can say it's just temporary. It's temporary because everything is, we're in that constant change. So understand that if you're feeling a bit disconnected, just acknowledge it's okay for me to feel like this, because when you do, you'll plant your feet on the ground. You're no longer hovering, you're accepting it, that it is what it is. It doesn't mean you're agreeing with it. So you are just allowing yourself to be where you are, which is perfectly fine. But then from there, you can start to look at, I would like to reconnect more to myself, to my source, to whomever. And what would that be like? And you can keep it very simple. So how did you reconnect before? How were you connected before? Those are some of the things you might want to look at. For me, it's not something that you just, so for example, if you're finding ways to connect often, then you'll find yourself not disconnecting much at all. If you're finding yourself, looking for the good things, enjoying things that make you feel good, things that make you feel connected, it's a little bit here and there, moving through the day, you'll feel very connected by the end of the day. So often we're waiting for the big charge, when we're feeling disconnected, we want to feel. So let me explain it to you this way. Say you're over here feeling disconnected and you want to feel connected. So we're asking for, I want that connection while I'm over here feeling disconnected. And you're asking for that big full force of energy to flow into you, or for you to jump over there and be there. And it doesn't have to be like that. You can just little bit by little bit, look for what makes me feel a little bit connected now. Because as you do that, you pave the way, you make the way. And after doing that a few times, you're feeling more connected. You practice that every day, it just becomes normal, becomes your reality. So it can be very tricky when you're feeling disconnected to be over here feeling connected. So just acknowledge I am where I am, and that's okay. And what can I do now that makes me feel a little connected? So sometimes it helps some people to get the focus off yourself, to put it on to someone else, meaning do something for somebody, or focus on a pet, or focus on a hobby, or something outside of you. Sometimes that can be very helpful for that journey. Other than that, you could go straight full force and say, well, I'm just going to do these things for me. You can meditate. You could go for a walk on the beach, connect with nature. Look for things that light you up. What helps you to connect in your day? So some of these things are doing them on purpose, okay? In the moment. And that's what I was saying with here. Sometimes we're waiting for that big wad of it to come into our lives, or for us to jump to it, but it's not. It's all the little things. It's in the moment how you're connecting. So you want to look at rituals or behaviors. What behaviors are you doing? What are the things that you like to do that help you to connect? And don't look for many of them, just do a couple of them, ease yourself into it and get that rhythm going. Because they do help you to connect. So having some kind of a routine, some ritual or behavior that helps you often throughout your day connect. Now, another powerful one is your daily chatter. How do you speak to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? Because that's how you connect or disconnect from yourself. It's your mind chatter. And you monitor the mind chatter by the way you feel, remember. You don't have to go into your thoughts and monitor your thoughts. Are these thoughts making me feel good? And if they're not making me feel good, I need to think in a different way that makes me feel better. What makes me happy? What brings me back to me, my center? So it's important to remember, up to you what you want to believe, but I am working from heart and soul, and this is to the people who have this in their belief system. You do have a soul or a source or God or whatever you want to call it, or spirit. So being aware that you are an extension of that. It is a part of you, okay? So maybe think about, even if you're feeling somewhat connected but want to enhance that, ask yourself the question and write it down. What can I do? What can I do in my day that would make me feel more connected to me, to my world around me? How can I participate? And that will be different for everyone. So I'm going to draw a card here now. But the main thing in life is to acknowledge it's okay where I am, and take a breath and ground that, okay? Because the moment you accept it, you surrender. Now, when I say accept it, doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but the struggle stops. the fight stops. So when you accept it, whatever it is, good or bad, it is what it is, okay? Now you have somewhere to move. That's how it works. If you keep not accepting something, that's okay. But if it's showing up, won't go away, now you're pushing against it. Now you've touched it, and now it's, you know, becoming a part of your reality. So let's pull a card and see. These are the Work Your Light cards. I really love them. They're beautiful. Okay. Align your life. So it's this one here. Now this is really good. Okay. It's what is not aligned or needs to change. So this is exactly what we're talking about. So if you want to connect more or reconnect, you have to look at, you know, is this aligning with my life? Is this aligning with my values? And you'll know by the way you feel. So let me draw another one, just because it's fun. So just to recap, reminding yourself, it's about, connection is about how do I feel? It's not thinking the right thoughts. It's not trying to overthink or think this into being or try to figure it out up here. It's how does this make me feel? Do I feel connected? Is this helping me to connect with me, with my world in a positive way? So let's just see, I'll do another card. And okay, this one here, Imrama, which I really don't know what that is, but that's okay. It's a distant, it's like a distant castle and there's water in between. But it says, where are you being called to journey to? So that's also another wonderful way to reconnect, to get your connection going. What's calling you? What's your heart calling you to? What are your desires calling you to? Are you listening to your heart or are you listening to your head mostly? Because if you're not really living through your heart, this living through your head space is going to mess with you a lot. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with logic. The brain is powerful intelligence, but the heart, when it's measured, the frequencies and the energy coming from the heart is 10 times more powerful than what frequencies are coming from the brain. So, you know, what are you being called to? What pleases you? What's your heart trying to say? That's your connection through your heart, living through your heart. So let me we'll do one more. Just thinking about it, it's accepting where I am and saying it is what it is, surrendering to that, finding ways to connect in the moment. Am I fully present? Am I sort of, someone's talking to me and I'm sort of half listening, or I'm not fully here, I'm thinking about what I want to say. Am I taking it in? Am I absorbing everything in this moment and feeling it fulfill me? Because when you can be here and now, you'll discover you'll feel more fulfilled. You'll feel more connected. So one more card. And we all have access to this. It just requires a little bit of focus daily. It requires consistency, so to do it daily and often when you can, and to not make work of it. What brings me joy today? What makes my heart light up today? You could be anywhere in this world and you could be feeling isolated or lonely, but you may even have no friends or connections. But you can start to think about things like, I remember when I had those friends, how wonderful they were. Or I remember that time when I had that animal, that pet. You are accessing state here and now. This is the power of your mind. So as I just said, the mind is extremely powerful and your heart even more so. But you're imaging, remembering, constructing. You are going there to timelines in your past that have actually happened. So it's really easy to recreate that because you're siphoning from it. In fact, you do it. You do it when you're thinking about something from the past and it's negative. You're reintroducing it now. So you can use the past in a powerful way. If it's positive, how is it serving me now? If it's negative, it's not really serving me now because all your power is now. So if you're going to use thoughts or events from the past, make sure they are serving you. So if you're in lack of something like connection or friends or connection to yourself or others or your world, remembering a time when I felt connected will be really helpful. What did I do? How did that feel? That felt really nice. I remember that. And it might take a bit of time to remember, but it will come if you keep looking for it. And then what happens is you're accessing the state now and bringing it here and now. So you don't have to actually go and make it happen or go to something. The shift comes in the feeling first. You're accessing it now. You have everything at your fingertips. You're more powerful than what you realize. So one more card, daydreaming, imagining, constructing, creating. That's where it starts. That's what you're hooking into. And that's the power of who you are. So we'll pull one more card. And okay, this is beautiful. I have a Lemurian crystal, actually wearing one here. It's a pink Lemurian. And Lemuria, I haven't looked into it too much, but from years ago, I remember studying it and I don't remember much of it. All I remember is it was like Atlantis, Lemuria. And I've heard like comes from Lemuria, and that's apparently Australia. So you can look into that for yourself. But Lemuria apparently did exist, and so did Atlantis. And these are ancient times back when people used crystals in powerful ways, but apparently they had high technology and it got destroyed. We destroyed it. The civilization destroyed itself, apparently. That's what I read about. So it says creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Okay, which is really lovely. And I want to speak to that and say you're creating your world by your focus, by the way you feel. Everybody's living in their own world and it's your own reality. And your world is what you make it. So if you can find ways to create heaven on earth for you, not only are you doing it for you, you'll be doing it, you'll be displaying that and showing that for others to help them create that and add to it as well. So I hope this has been helpful. Big soul love from me, and bye for now.